Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Top Tier Talk. This weekend, Chelsea, City, and Newcastle all drop points, which means Arsenal sit 7 points clear at the top of the table. Pressure's on them because no one has thrown away a lead this big going into the new year. And Marcus Rashford, after being disciplined, was Man United's saviour, scoring in their 1-0 win against Wolves. There's also a lot of transfers or transfer speculation as well, so Amir, take it away.
Thank you, Dan. I think we're going to start first with Chavez because it was the early kickoff on Saturday. 1-0 against Wolves. Rashford's, I guess, bad start to the day ended up being good. He got the winner. What was your
Yeah,
assessment?
he made an honest mistake, and as rightly so, he got punished for it. I think back in the day, this wasn't the case at a club, so it was good to see that even though he's the best player, you get
Is he best player?
reprimanded. Yeah, he's our best player right now on form, and it didn't matter because we needed him. You saw we won in the end with him, or else we might not have won. And despite that, he was dropped. Luke Shaw, I think, mentioned in his interview as well. But I think we saw it with Ronaldo. If we can do that to Ronaldo, I think there's no one is above the club now. No one's above the team. I think again, same old really with us now. It's looking like we're actually getting consistent. Varane and Casemiro, them being in the team. Fun fact of the day for you guys. This stat is ridiculous, but Varane and Casemiro have not yet conceded a goal when they share a pitch as Man United players. I had to look through that stat, but it's actually true, which it doesn't make sense because they have played quite a bit together. But we are yet to concede with them.
I don't think they have actually. Didn't like Varane get injured like before?
No, they
the World
haven't.
Cup,
Even
like?
in the City game, they played separate times, so it just worked somehow, and it shows they're experienced, they're winners. Luke Shaw's filled in brilliantly at that centre back position. If he didn't, we might have conceded goals in the last couple of games. We haven't. We just look good. We get the job done every game at the moment. So hopefully more of that.
Yeah, and very quickly, I want to touch on a lot of people on Twitter talking about Anthony's form and him playing not so good.
The negative. Yeah.
Are you worried there?
No.
Is it not Sancho V2? Do you reckon he'll come good for the 80 million?
No, I think the best thing is that we have the right manager to develop these players. And Anthony, more than anyone, played under Ten Hag, and he's specifically gone out of his way to get him. I'm sure Ten Hag will work on him because there's a few things that blatantly need to be worked on, such as his right foot doesn't use it, and other things like he doesn't take on players when he can. He clearly has the capability of doing it. I'm sure they'll help him do that, even if he needs to go, as I said in my ratings video, to the mountains or wherever Sancho went. They'll do whatever needs to be done to sort him out. He started off well, which is usually sometimes not the case with players who come from different leagues, and now he's sort of plateaued. So he'll be back. I trust the manager when it comes to that.
I got a quick question just with that. Sorry.
Go for it.
Let's say, for example, like the whole kind of operation about what's happening to Sancho in the mountains happens, and Sancho comes back like a fucking demon, like he was in the Bundesliga. You've got the likes of Anthony, Martial, Rashford, Bruno, because obviously he's got to play at the number 10 role as well, and then now Sancho. Like it's going to be a tough kind of. I mean, it's good, but then who would you play there if everyone's on form at the end of the day?
No, this is great. Every position basically has two players for competition, except Martial's striker position right now. But I do think Sancho can play that 10 position as well that Bruno's currently occupied. Sancho centrally is very good, and we saw it at Dortmund for a bit, but he hasn't done it here yet. He seems to get excluded from games when he plays in the wing. So everyone's interchangeable. Everyone can play a couple of positions. People can play false nine. So I don't think that will be an issue. I think it's a great thing, the competition. Like, if, for example, Rashford didn't play, then it's not like we had no one to play in that position. We had Garnacho ready to go. So it's a good thing. It's a good headache to have.
And lastly from me for you, transfers. Obviously, João Felix rumours. You obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, we all heard, went to Al Nassr or something like that. Obviously, rumours are you guys don't have funds, lack of funds, obviously from the owners, the way they've run the club. João Felix, would you take him? I heard it's quite a large loan fee, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 21 mil for the loan. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think ridiculous. I don't think from a Glazer's perspective, they should be spending another penny at the club because, as far as we're aware, they're going to sell the club within the next 3 months before the first quarter. So why would they spend anything else? Aside from that, I mean, in an ideal world, sure, we sign a right back, we even maybe get a left back. Well, not left back, sorry. A right back, we get a goalkeeper and we get a striker, but we're not doing that. The immediate problem is the striker position, which we can get a quick fix striker, but I don't think we're not doing that anymore.
Could Rashford play in the central role at all? Maybe as a cover.
This is why I mean, like, players are interchangeable, but I do think we should sign someone, even if it's temporary, if it's a loan. That will be the difference between us confirming top four or still being up in the air, with Liverpool improving as well and Chelsea even signing the way they are. But yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not too worried. I'm actually really happy. If we don't sign anyone, it's a good sign because it means the Glazers are selling, so they can do what they want. It's one last window that we have to survive.
Thank you, Chavez. Daniel, gonna come to you quick. You had the double game week, didn't you? You had remind me again who you had on Friday.
I'd rather not. We lost 4-0
Yeah,
to
Swansea, yeah.
4-0 to Swansea.
Swansea in Wales. Yeah.
In Wales,
Yeah,
yeah.
we lost to a Welsh team in the English Football League,
Yeah.
which is obviously controversial in itself. Now, a terrible performance from start to finish.
You won
Not that
today,
it's
though.
not that it's an excuse, but yeah, 15 first-team players out injured
That's
or
insane.
suspended, which is horrendous. We've got one fit midfielder who is Bakuna, who we signed 3 weeks ago on a free transfer because we literally had no one else or couldn't field anyone else. We've got youth players left, right, and centre in our team and on our bench. But today we scraped a 1-0 win against Norwich. It wasn't a good game, but in the Championship you've got to win games 1-0. It's better to win 1-0 and grind out a result of confidence than it is to win 4-5-0 because being able to grind out victories is much more important.
Dang,
But-
I've got a question. I know it's completely not
far
football
away.
related, but it's to do with the Welsh because I know you're not a fan of the Welsh. Me and Chavez were discussing this, and let's say, for example, you and your girl like were having a baby, and then you went to like Swansea or Cardiff away, and she came with you and had the baby in Wales, and that baby is officially Welsh. What would you do?
More of an inside joke for us, though, isn't it? Then?
I'm dragging her over the. Well,
Dragging her while she's trying to give birth. Yeah.
Right, context. I'm not a big fan of the Welsh in context of sports. For obvious reasons, being English, they hate us, we hate them. Like, but yeah, we got an FA Cup game this weekend, which is actually quite funny because usually in cup games we're not going to win the FA Cup. So will you play a second team? Well, we're playing our second team in the league, so we're going to be playing our under 23s. So
Yeah. So just kind of focus on the league, really. Yeah.
what a waste of match ticket money that is for me. Enjoy
Fair enough.
the vlog.
And then very quickly, Dan, obviously the window's open. I assume maybe 1 or 2 reinforcements coming in, obviously with so many players injured, or not really.
We've signed a winger in Mateus, a Brazilian, and we've signed Kone, I think his name is, the Canadian played at the World Cup. We signed him holding midfielder, who was needed. Again, as I said, we only got one fit midfielder. But in regards of sort of everything else, we could do with another left back because obviously Kamara's only alone. We've had to play Morris there.
Yeah.
But it's almost about just rebuilding. We're probably not going to get promoted this season. The top 2 are gone. I think they're like 14 points clear, 16 points clear of us, I think. Which again, I know I've said it before. Every team has a run in the Championship, but that's quite a big deficit to overcome.
Yeah, it's a playoff spot, really. Yeah.
So I'd happily stick with Bilic and give him the players that he wants / needs in the squad and go again next season. Not saying it's a write-off. Again, we could get playoffs, but it's not going to be easy the way that we're playing and the way our squad is at the minute.
Fair enough. Okay, moving on to mighty Chelsea. Very good 1-1 performance against Nottingham Forest, considering we didn't even turn up. So yeah, a point in the Prem, as I said in the player ratings, I'm quite gassed for. So yeah, we didn't turn up. A lot of people saying what's his face out, Graham Potter out are absolute idiots. So it's a player issue really, and hopefully Enzo Fernandez comes in and a couple more signings, and maybe we get a late top 4 charge. But
I just wanted to touch on this. You said an outstanding 1-1 performance against Nottingham Forest. You're Chelsea Football Club, and you're saying that's an amazing performance. 1-1.
It is, of course, it is. Any performance is amazing in which you don't turn up, you barely take any shots, you don't do anything, and you get a point out of. So of course I'm happy.
I see how the mighty have fallen.
It's not how the mighty have fallen.
I don't disagree with that. That's common sense.
You've got to think of positives in this scenario.
Not when they're doing it like every week. If it was like once every 5 games, but your last 7 games, you've won one game.
Listen. Every week I'm going to say the same thing. Graham Potter's hands tied behind his back. We don't have first team players. We don't have Reece James. We don't have Kante. We don't have Chilwell. We haven't had Kovacic. What do you lot expect for Fafana's out? What do you lot want from him? It's not even half of these on his.
Wins
None of
against the
these are his
bottom three.
players. None of these are his players either. Listen, if that can't come about and we're scraping draws, I'm gassed as well at the moment. So I can't really complain.
But
Half
then-
these players are.
I mean, I
are
remember you were
accepting-
flaming
'cause-
Arsenal, like our club, for this though last season.
What was I flaming?
That we were like scraping wins just against like these lower tier clubs as well.
Well, we didn't even scrape a win. But you got to think of the scenario. You had your
Yeah,
manager
sorry.
for 2 seasons. This is a new manager who's never experienced this.
Mm.
What do you lot expect? What do you expect from Graham Potter right now? Did whoever expected the ball, Brighton ball, how he played at Brighton straight away? Stupid. Of course not. I knew this was going to happen. We finished 10th before when we lost Mourinho. Gerson came in. I've experienced this before, so it's just.
What's your target
My target.
Top 4.
this season for the league?
There is no target. Anything's the target right now.
No,
Staying in
no.
the league.
Would you say avoid relegation?
We're not going to be in a relegation battle, so that's
But
stupid.
then you said it was a good result against a relegation
It
team.
was. Any result is good when you don't turn up. We gained a point without turning up.
This is how they think now, Chavez. This is how.
No, yeah,
but
it
I
is
don't
how
get
we
you
think.
spent how
I
much
agree
you
with
s-
him.
They
I
spent
agree that
100
should
million
be
plus. You can't be talking like that.
No,
when
no,
you-
no.
Yeah,
I can be because the manager that bought these players and wanted these players is not at this football club anymore, and a
But
new
that
manager is
that
trying to
still
work
means
with
they
players
cost
he
the same
doesn't.
money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much a player's
Doesn't
cost. We
reduce their
overpay for
price.
players as well. What do you mean? What? So because we have 100 million players, they're expected to turn up every week against a team.
Yes,
that's
you're worth your
with that-
value.
well
If
more
you
value.
spend
No.
But they're obviously
like
no,
20 quid on
then you've answered
something
the-
that's like
you've-
overly
you've
priced, you'd
answered your
expect it to be
question.
good.
They're not worth their value. They are not worth their value.
There you go.
I disagree.
Oh.
There's been plenty of results this season for Arsenal and United. Maybe not plenty for Arsenal, but that you could pick out and go, you didn't play well, but you got a win, or you got 3 points or a point, and you go, we probably shouldn't have got that, but solid.
But Dan, they've
We
won one
didn't
in
play.
7. If this was a
Oh, yeah,
random
no,
game,
If this
where
is a
they
not
got
one-off,
points-
But
yeah, I
we've
wouldn't
got
blame it.
injuries as
Oh,
well.
yeah, no,
You guys
if
always.
we're talking game by
You guys
game,
are just
yeah.
expecting us. We have an Aspilicueta at right back who's about 50 years old who has no legs. We have a Fafana who hasn't even played. He got injured again. He got injured,
Hasn't
come
got
back, got
legs.
injured again. Exactly.
What happened to him
Midfield,
anyway?
we
What happened to
haven't had
Fofana?
Kante.
What's wrong?
In the World Cup, we had some friendlies. He got injured again. Brozier's gone now.
No, but what happened? What's his injury?
I'm not sure he's gone. He's not here. He's not here. He's not available. That's all I know. That's all I'm focused on. Kante hasn't been all season. The one game Kante was actually playing in, we played amazing, was Spurs. That's the last game I remember Chelsea playing well. And we lost that due to Anthony Taylor, the bald mug.
Yeah, he's a
Hasn't been here
wanker.
since. Hasn't been here since. So what do you guys really expect from us?
Yeah, if you had to predict, where do you think you'll finish?
I don't know.
Do it.
Anywhere.
Predict.
1 to 16th. There's your prediction.
So if you finish 16th, you'll be like,
So you
great
think you could
season.
actually finish?
I don't
first?
really care.
No, but you
the
said one.
season's a write-off. The season's a write-off.
Season. So Liverpool fans think this as well.
No, but-
Season's a write-off as well.
No,
so-
no,
It's
but
a
it's
write-off. How can
different
you
because
say
they
one?
still have. It is. We changed our manager. The season's a write-off. What are you talking about? Liverpool still have their manager, who's been there for 5 years now, and more than that probably.
Okay.
I don't know what you lot expect from Chelsea. I don't know what
A
you
big
lot expect.
team like that, I'd expect him to
A
do
big-
well, no matter
a
who
big
your
team
manager
like
is.
money.
It's a transition period. We're going to lose a lot of
You're
players. A
saying
lot
you're
of
like
dead ones.
Potter's got nothing to work with.
He
Millions of pounds
doesn't.
worth of
He
players.
doesn't. He
They're
doesn't have
surely
much to
somewhat
work with.
good.
No,
Better than
they're
Brighton
not.
players.
Are they? I don't think so.
Wow.
We're trying to buy half a Brighton team.
All right.
We're trying to buy half a Brighton team. Our best player for the last 3-4 years was a free signing, Thiago Silva, who's 38. Let that sink in, by the way. And that's probably
That's how
down
bad
to
your club is at scouting.
It's,
I
no,
mean,
no,
to-
but yeah, it probably is. You're right. We are bad. We overpay Lukaku.
Yeah, because you only
etc.
go for players
but-
that are like popular.
Proven players, yeah. That if you want to use the right words for it, we do. We try to go for proven players, but they don't work.
How's that working? Yeah.
Well, it's worked for us in the last 10 years. We won a Champions League in 2021.
Champions League, that waffle again.
And then you
something
sacked
that
that
you-
manager.
And then you sack the manager
Yeah.
who wanted to.
And
Yeah.
then you got
I
one who's
didn't
never
sack him.
competed.
I didn't want him to be sacked. So he's just carrying the same thing. Over to transfers for Chelsea. Obviously, the big one's Enzo.
Enzo, yeah.
Hopefully, Enzo Fernandez comes in. That'll be a fantastic signing.
Why?
Young player of the World Cup. What do you
Then
mean?
wouldn't you
why?
agree
Because
the
we don't
World
have a
Cup is the
midfield.
worst place to be signing breakthrough players?
No, it's not. Based on what? What are you basing
If an
this on?
established player plays well in the World Cup, that's great. Like you could sign him, but Enzo, like
No one knew who he was before. No
It's his
offense. No one knew he
breakthrough, and
like.
now-
He
It doesn't
played for
matter who
Benfica,
it was,
great.
but the
But
World Cup is the biggest stage, and he's turned up. I'm sure people in Benfica knew how good he was, and Argentinians. We just didn't know because we just focus on the Premier League. I'm sure he was a young prospect, but I want to understand your negativity towards Chelsea signing Enzo. Is it just a jealousy thing because you guys don't have the
No,
money?
it's just you just
No, I
don't
wouldn't sign
train
a
up
player just
products.
from
You
a
just
World
buy
Cup.
We
them.
don't train products. What do you mean we don't train products?
Who in the youth academy for Chelsea is in the first team right now?
Mason Mount.
One. And you
One.
should probably go for
No,
more
Reece
if the current
James
billions
too.
of pounds
Reece
worth of
James
players aren't
too.
good.
Fikayo Tomori was free
Yeah,
before
but
he
Tomori's
obviously
gone.
had a fallen. Exactly, he's gone. So that's just no, it doesn't work anymore. Brozier, another one. Trevor Chalobah, who I think should be starting over Koulibaly, is in there. We do have a lot of players in there. We have a lot of young players we've bought as well. So they're stupid because we probably have the best academy. Cobham's probably one of the best in terms of talents going. But yeah, no.
Okay.
But yeah, let's very quickly move on to Arsenal then now. Obviously you're happy,
1 minute with
but
Arsenal.
yeah.
Life is good. Life is good. We went 3-0 up against Brighton, and it was fantastic. You know, like obviously the burners got turned on a bit, and obviously it went 3-1, and then Odegaard and masterful. I think it was no, they got a goal disallowed first, and then Odegaard masterful assist to Martinelli 4-2. Great victory.
Masterful assist. Masterful, bro. Lucky.
Anyway,
It was though. It was a good assist.
yeah. Anyway, so 4-2, and as you mentioned at the start of the video, Dan, we got the likes of Newcastle dropping points, Man City dropping points. Who else dropping? But we got maybe even Liverpool when they like currently 2-1 down to Brentford.
Yeah,
Chelsea
11
dropping
minutes.
points. Like, Spurs losing to Villa, like, and then we come out on top, 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League right now. And look, we've got Newcastle tomorrow, and it'll be a fantastic and big game for us. Because I mean, it's at home, fantastic. We've got all the fans behind us, which is amazing. However, it's a big game because Newcastle are on form right now, so it'll be quite a scary game to go into. But I still have faith. I have a lot of faith because I still think we're the top contenders at the moment. So,
Elliot,
but
I want to
other
hear
than that,
from you.
I'm a happy man.
Are Arsenal going to win the league?
We're contending for it.
No. Don't be scared. Say it.
No. See, remember we asked this question for Amir.
But I'm
Where's
not an
Chelsea
Arsenal
finishing?
Yeah, and you
fan,
said
am
1
I?
to 16. He
1
might
to
as well say
16.
1 to 6.
1 to 2. Yeah, 1 to 3.
No,
1 to 4. Yeah.
No. As an Arsenal fan, do you think you're going to win the league?
Maybe.
You're scared. Okay, then. No right answer. Yes or no? Okay.
Maybe. There is no right answer anyway. What do you mean? If there's as if it's a right fucking answer?
No, your answer. Obviously, you're on the fence. So there's fear.
Of course, I'm on the fence. We
Not
finished 5th last
fear.
season,
They're
8th the
up
season
well,
before.
yeah,
and 8th
there is fear. They're up against the greatest squad the Premier
it
League's probably
doesn't
ever seen in
matter.
Man City.
Yeah. So on your point about Newcastle City, all the other big teams dropping points. Spoke to one of our friends who's a Man City fan. Said that apparently there's a bit of tension between Foden and Pep, and that's obviously
Really?
kind
That
of the issue.
tension's so big that Man City are affected that badly.
Yeah.
Well, they are, yeah.
And they drop points
because
against
they're
Everton.
playing Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is stinky. They play Jack Grealish.
What, 100 mil player? Okay.
Yeah, but just because a player costs 100 mil doesn't mean
Grealish
it's
isn't.
good.
Grealish played well.
Hold on,
last week.
wait. Say what you said of it.
If a player's worth 100 million doesn't mean it's good.
Okay, so Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, but Enzo Fernandez just came out of being the young player of the year. So is Neymar bad then because he's 200
Is
million?
Neymar top 10 Brazilian of all time?
No, but
No,
he
he
wasn't
always
young
plays-
player of the year. He was young player of the tournament.
Sorry, young player, but it's a tournament which you prove yourself, and he's proved himself to be the best youngster in the whole tournament. Does that not mean anything?
Not if he's not established.
Okay, then what
that's
is-
why you
okay.
see random teams like Saudi Arabia, them doing so well, because it's a World Cup. Mentally, you're going to be driven. That's why
Brentford
he's probably the best player to.
Yeah,
Like the show has not been, scouted by anyone.
But
You
then what are you meriting on then?
Very
What are you
quickly,
meriting
guys,
on?
just to pause.
Yeah.
Brentford have just scored against Liverpool, so it's 3-1 now.
Wow,
Lovely.
Okay, Arsenal just getting spoon-fed this league.
That's
Okay,
not good.
Chavez, back to you. I want
That
you to
confirms
merit.
Chelsea dropping a place to 9th.
That's all right. I'll just sleep with my 2 Champions League titles.
Chavez,
back to you. Back to you, please. What are you meriting off that Enzo Fernandez will be a flop? What is your what are you going
No,
off? What
so how I see the World Cup is not a place to be scouting players, unless, for
of
example,
course it is. It's where people emerge and
you've got
prove
established
themselves.
players like Mbappe or players you have done well previously, and if they then excel at the World Cup, fair enough, then you get them. If it's a player you've never really heard of and suddenly they pop up in a World Cup, it's because they're driven to play for their country and mentally they're going to be at their best, and this is the best they're ever going to play. That's why certain players like James Rodriguez, Ochoa, there's so many, Abu Bakar, all these players that have played well across the years, they're probably not the best players to get for your club because they're never going to play to that level again. The level you saw is the best they'll ever play because it meant so much to
No.
them. It's the most it ever meant. So Enzo
The
Fernandez,
James
120
Rodriguez
million.
point, I agree with. Fair enough. He obviously didn't excel the heights after the World Cup, but Enzo's 21.
Did you know Enzo before the World Cup?
I didn't, but now I do know him.
Well,
And he's fantastic, right?
Yeah, but we need a
And he's fantastic,
midfielder.
yeah.
So I'm taking any single. I'll take any. Yeah, it was fantastic in the World Cup. I'd take a midfielder.
It seems like. Do you not think Chelsea have no scouting plan?
We do have a scouting plan.
Yeah,
Have you
no,
seen
was
what
they're
Enzo
basically
someone-
Todd
is
Bowley
Enzo
just
someone
throws
who-
like millions and millions of pounds at him and just goes like, whoever performs in the next 2 months, buy him.
If you're spending
Okay, then what are you
100 million
meriting
on a
off them? We
player,
bought the
innit?
Aston Villa youngster, Chukwuemeka, I think his name is. Then
Who?
what are you meriting off them? No,
Who?
exactly. What are you meriting off them?
Amir, if you're signing Enzo, a player you're paying 100 million plus for, surely that's a player you've scouted a few times. You've sent people to Portugal to watch for Benfica. You've
They
made a
might have
profile
done.
over a
I
few
don't know. I'm
months.
not the club, am I? I'm just a fan who's just heard of him from
They
the
just
World
joined
Cup.
the
and so
hype
he-
wagon of Enzo
It's
and just
not a
gone,
hype
yeah,
wagon.
we'll pay
It's
him.
Always
Liverpool's
linked to
after, and then
players
Manchester
that just
United wants him
everyone-
as well.
I don't know.
They're
I
not
don't think
hype
there's
players.
much
What does
going
this
on
hype
there.
player nonsense mean?
I
Your
don't know.
club has had flops in the past and is still having flops. So have Arsenal. We've just had more than everyone else. But I don't really understand. I think Enzo is smart. I'd prefer
Okay.
him over Declan Rice.
Well, we were talking about
worth
Arsenal,
more.
and now we're waffling about your
Why
dodgy
would
club.
you
Sorry,
go for
we did.
Declan Rice?
Apologies.
If you're willing
Huh?
to spend 120 million, surely Declan Rice, I know the whole English thing, aside from that, he's a player that you've probably built a profile
might
on.
get
He's
both.
perfect for that position.
We might
No,
get
but
both.
why would you not go for him over Enzo? Enzo's just someone you're going to buy because of a
Because
World
our
Cup.
midfield is dodgy, is the worst thing ever. Jorginho's crap. He's going. I hope he goes. I'll take him to the airport. Kante's legs. He's got injury after injury. Kovacic is never fit. We need midfielders.
Why don't you go for a Brighton midfielder?
Why don't you go for
We will gonna
McAllister?
We've got
Caicedo.
McAllister links as well. There are McAllister links.
Caicedo would be a good one.
Caicedo,
Yeah,
another,
that's
exactly.
like you're
Why
not
don't you buy
spending
Tom
100
Cleverley
million.
from Watford?
Well, because
He's,
we've
he's,
got
already- he's one of the others on the injury
Oh,
table.
bloody hell. Back to it.
No, but like,
Elliot, sorry for interrupting your segment. What else did you want to say about Arsenal? We can obviously talk transfers after we've got more time.
Yeah, so obviously now we've got Newcastle coming up tomorrow, which will be a big game again. Because I remember someone pointed it out on our next 4 fixtures. We obviously had Brighton. Everyone was doubting us there because Brighton was somehow really good this season, not thinking that
Brighton
we are as well.
very good this season.
Yeah, but
They
so are
are
we.
good this
So
season.
why couldn't we go there and win?
No one's saying
That's
you're
why I
not
wanted
good.
to know why
No one's
everyone was
saying you're
doubting
not
it. And then so
Because-
now we've got Newcastle at home, which, in my opinion, after the way we've been playing and because it's at home, I think we'll go and win that. In my opinion,
Score predictions.
if you do, it's
1-0.
a joke if you win that. Because like at this point, what more do you need to
Yeah,
do?
but they've got hard fixtures coming. They've got
No,
Tottenham. They've
yeah,
got
this is
you
what I was
as
about
well.
to say. This is what I'm about to say. So obviously we've got Newcastle at home tomorrow, which obviously, as I said, it's not an easy game because they're quality on form as well. But it's at home, so I think we could steal a cheeky little 1-0 win against them, and that will send a message again to the rest of the league. And then, as you said, Tottenham are a bit of a bottle job, but they'll probably turn up against us when we play them on the 15th. But I reckon we'll still get a result against there. And then we've got Chavez, Manchester United at home though as well, so that'll be an interesting match as well.
There's the one team
Make or
that's
break.
beating you this season, isn't it?
But
really?
exactly,
So,
that's what I'm saying. It'll be an interesting match
Yeah.
because they're doing pretty well at the moment as well.
Yeah. Cool. I guess that kind of wraps up Arsenal. We've spoken a lot. Any other clubs you want to speak about? I guess the Tottenham's in a bit of a bad situation. What do you lot
Love
think
to
of
see it.
Conte? Do you think
Out.
Conte should be
Conte
sacked?
out.
Or do you think he needs a window? Because I think it's a window.
Conte shouldn't get sacked. He should leave. It's not the case of Tottenham.
Tottenham
you're
Tottenham
not good
Football
enough.
Club is a virus.
Yeah, Tottenham aren't good enough for him. He's good enough
Yeah.
for Tottenham. That whole transfer, I said it when he signed. It doesn't make sense because Conte, when he goes to a club, he expects 100% support financially.
But
And
hasn't he had that? He had that over the summer.
I don't
You're
think
trying to
so.
tell
I
me
don't-
he didn't?
I think he wants it now in January, and he's not going to get it, which is why he's unhappy. And he needs that all the time to get what he needs, and he's not going to get that from Daniel Levy. He's at the stingiest club in the world, so it was never going to work out, was it? And now he'll leave. I think he'll leave.
Yeah.
If he gets sacked, that's
Parts
a joke.
ways.
And then it will be
Mm.
Pochettino will probably return to Spurs. That's the logical outcome here.
Liverpool
Yeah.
falling from grace. Love to see it as well.
Liverpool losing at the moment. Yeah. I guess we're gonna. Any more transfer news? I didn't ask you. I was meaning to ask you about Mudryk.
Modric, yeah.
Thoughts on him? Do you think that's one that will definitely get done? João Felix as well. You and United are the two clubs heavily linked with him. Would you?
I just
what's
wanted,
your thoughts on him?
just wanted to touch on obviously just a foot latter that what you said about João Felix. Obviously, when you're talking about how us and United are both linked with him, and don't get me wrong, be a fantastic little loan signer just to see what he's capable of performing in the Premier League or not. However, Atletico are looking at a stupid amount for him for a 6-month loan, which makes no sense whatsoever. 21 million for 6 months makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know what they're thinking, idiots. But Mudryk as well. I don't know if obviously you guys have been in the loop or anything like that, but he's watching our games, and every time he watches our games, he's putting it on Instagram. Basically, two top coach, and it was obviously his old Shakhtar coach at Brighton, and then Mikel Arteta. So it's clear to see that the player wants to join us, and that's always what we want. We don't want a player who, because we become good all of a sudden, now they want to join us, like Milinkovic-Savic. But
was that?
Because do you know? Remember, we were linked with him maybe like a couple seasons ago, but apparently he didn't want to join us because we're apparently not good enough. But now he wants to join us.
Was
No,
that
we
not
don't want
Vlahovic?
to. We don't want to
That
play.
was Vlahovic.
No, it was Savic. It was Milinkovic Savic as well. But then that's what I'm saying. We don't want players like that who don't trust in the process. They just want to come join at the top when we're like doing well. Nah. So, and then also obviously Mudryk, like what Shakhtar? Who do you think they are trying to justify like a sick? Do you not piss?
Is their prized
Your
possession,
club, by the way,
though,
Chavez, your stupid club ruined this transfer for us. Because 100 mil for Anthony that's why Shakhtar are basing it off. They're like, well, if Man United can pay 100 mil for Anthony, why can't you? It's so annoying.
This is why it's like being a big club now. So you're getting frustrated.
Amir, you haven't experienced it. Yeah,
I was going to ask you guys, what club do you think would be dumb enough to pay 21 million for a 6-month loan for João Felix in the Premier League?
Chelsea.
That's why I think he'll go there. If you should get.
You know what? I'd take him, man. We need a striker.
Yeah, and you take that money as well. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't really understand this whole amount of money situation because.
Amir, would you take Haaland at Manchester? Would you take Haaland at Chelsea right now for 250 million?
Yeah, I would, because he scores goals. What kind of a dumb thing to say? We lack goals.
I'm just saying because your club's all about money. There's no kind of like building up.
Football's about money.
Martinelli cost 6 mil. And now look at him, one of the best left wingers in the league.
Elliot, you spent money over the last couple of windows. You spent a lot of money, 50 million on Ben White. And
great signing.
Jesus. Yeah, exactly. You've spent money as well.
Your signings are shocking.
It doesn't matter. Okay, that's for me to deal with, not for you.
Yeah, let's go chat with Bowley right now.
Well, I'm sleeping with 2 Champions Leagues. What are you sleeping with?
No, you're not. Where are the trophies? Show me the trophies right now in your room. Let me see.
Amir, do you think Graham Potter is involved in the transfers? Because I don't think Graham Potter would say yes to Enzo Fernandez.
Over like the October, September stuff, and obviously with Tuchel was doing a kind of a director's role and a manager role. He didn't have anyone behind him, scouts, etc. We've employed quite a few people. There is a systematic way for Chelsea to do things now, I think.
But Graham Potter wouldn't be involved in that because the players you're linked with.
I'm sure he'd have a space. How do you know it's not a Graham Potter player?
If Graham Potter was involved, spending money on, and like Dan said, Caicedo is it's a way better signing than Enzo Fernandez.
From Brighton as well. So we've bought
the
63 mil.
It's not done well. Yeah, exactly. So
You've
it's not
Pascal Gross waiting for you there.
I don't want Pascal Gross. You take Pascal Gross.
Why? Because he's not 50 mil. You don't want him.
They'll probably still end up paying that.
He will cost 50, 60 mil. Yeah. Same with McAllister.
Would you say Enzo Fernandez is a 120 million pound player?
Yes, he is. Because with the market and how his tournament is, how much is he then?
What do you mean?
How much?
He's not
how much?
He's a 40 million player at best.
A 40 million man player in this current market.
I'd say 50 mil.
50 million.
Okay, fine, 50.
In this current market, it's 50 mil. Be realistic.
He's literally just had one World Cup where he's broke through.
He's won the World Cup. He's won it.
No.
So is Emiliano Martinez for Aston Villa worth 100 mil?
I don't know. Is that how much goalkeepers go for?
Well, you tell me. He's won a World Cup.
How much would you say McAllister's for?
McAllister will probably end up buying for 80 million. Does that make you happy?
80 million.
That's probably how much we'll end up buying him. Does that make you happy? Because you bought out. You're laughing, but Anthony's going on a hiatus with Sancho right now. So I don't know why you're chatting.
Yeah, but he's an established player who actually did well with his club.
Is he established? He's not established right now. He's not doing anything for you right now.
Tournament is not where you judge them.
He was crap in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly, but that doesn't matter. The tournament
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The last tournament, the last football.
These man bought Lukaku. What was it? How much? How much you buy Lukaku for?
Lukaku helped us win a World Club earlier. Yeah.
How much was he? To tell me, how much was he?
I don't know. You check. You got Google.
Oh, it's your club. How much was it?
Obviously, guys, we can. Do you want to carry on arguing or do you want to do an award?
No. Remember, I used to discredit Arsenal every week because at the time Arteta had won an FA Cup, but in the league they'd always be 8th, 9th because that's not a good reflection of where Arsenal were. And now, Elliot, you're seeing it. You're not winning trophies, but where are you? you're first, and it's
First.
much
Right.
better. And you can see you're playing better. Everything is
Fantastic
better
football.
because the league is the best determined. Like it determines where you are as a
Yeah.
club. Not these
I
tough
don't think it's a
competitions.
true reflection at the moment.
And it's a true reflection of
Amir.
players.
So I'm going to follow on from last week's conversation again. When is it when we can actually be in your mind for title contenders again?
Every team right now is a title contender until it's mathematically impossible yet to win the league.
Okay. So
Let's do an award show, guys, because it's
Brentford are
quite.
title contenders.
Yeah, it could be.
Light
They're in
push,
the
late
Premier
push.
League. They're in the Premier League. Okay, we're gonna do some awards now. I've got a couple awards I'm gonna add to it ourselves. I want us to try and do it as a group. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna just stick to world football, or do you want to stick to Premier League football before we start?
Anyway,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, then, Player of the Year for you guys.
22, right? 2022.
Whole of 2022 calendar year. Who is your Player of the Year? I guess we all try and agree on.
Benzema.
I say Benzema as well.
Why not? He won the Ballon d'Or. Had
Yeah.
a fantastic 2022.
Okay, and then we're gonna put a spin on it. Premier League Player of the Year as well. We'll do a Premier League one as well.
Well, consistently across the whole thing. Would you
Calendar year
discredit Haaland?
2022 to 2023.
De Bruyne.
I'll say De Bruyne then, just
Yeah.
because across
Kevin
the
De
whole
Bruyne.
year.
Yeah. Dan, do you agree?
Yeah. I was thinking of someone.
Water TV.
I was thinking of City or Liverpool.
Cool.
But yeah.
Young. Yeah. Agreed. Young Player of the Year. This is world. Firstly, who do we think?
Oh, world.
Mbappe.
Is he still classified as young? What's the
No.
barrier?
He's 24. He's 24. I say.
Isn't
I
it?
say.
Let's
No,
do
but what's-
below 23 then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 23 and below then.
Yeah, but technically he was below 23. He's just born in December. Like that's
No, it was 23. He's 24 now.
what I'm saying.
Okay, fine. I'll say Mbappe then.
Okay, do you want to include Mbappe?
He's inevitable. Like,
Okay.
Okay, sure, Mbappe. Then. Mbappe, yeah. And Premier League now? Premier League young
Bukayo.
player of-
Bukayo Saka.
no.
over a calendar year.
I would. If you're saying Bukayo, Haaland in that same time.
I was going to
was
say,
better
yeah.
than-
Can we just give it to Haaland already?
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
but he had
Oh, I back Haaland. 20
Yeah.
goals in that. He subs. Okay. Yeah. Next one.
And manager. Yeah.
Manager of the year. Manager of the year, world first.
World. Ooh.
Carlo Ancelotti for me.
Do we have to be boring and just say Champions League? Yeah.
He'll
it's
be on
gotta be, innit?
the league as well.
I'd say Eddie Howe's up there.
Yeah, agreed. Who is your Dan? Do you agree? Carlos Ancelotti.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Okay,
Champions League winner.
Premier
Yeah.
League Manager of the Year now.
It's gotta
Eddie
be
Howe.
Pep, isn't it?
One. Yeah.
Howe, 100% Eddie Howe over a calendar
It's between Pep. It's not. It's between Arteta and Eddie Howe.
year. No, it's not. No.
You know
It's
Arteta
Pep.
See,
and that
I said,
calendar table are
Amir,
based
you
on Pep.
are the most washed football
I'm
fan
not.
ever.
How
You
am I a
hate
washed football
Arsenal.
fan?
If
I
we win
don't
the
hate
fucking league,
Arsenal.
if we win
Listen,
the
listen,
league, you'll
listen.
like,
Stop crying,
West
number
team to
one.
win.
Stop
Yeah,
crying.
West
Let
team-
me.
West team
Can
to
I
win the
speak
league.
before? Can I speak first?
You hate us.
Eddie Howe over a. I don't hate you. I praise
You
you.
do.
Eddie Howe over a calendar year. What he's done for Newcastle, exceptional. We agree with that.
Hmm.
But in the season finish, Arteta did bottle top four.
Okay.
I'm bringing that into account.
Look where he is now.
If you're
But
doing
based
half a
on
year,
points, Arteta's basically there with Pep, and it's harder for Arteta because he's got
Pep's
less.
only there for me because he obviously won the league, and that's what I'm counting. But if you're doing the last half a season now, then yeah, you win it. Arteta gets it. But I'd have said Eddie Howe. So why are you still crying and kicking and screaming about?
Because you hate us, Arsenal.
I don't hate you. I just said I'd give it to Arsenal.
No,
from
because when
September to
Chavez just
December.
went, oh, it's between like Eddie Howe and Arteta, you went, no. As if it's
Because
like he's
I'm-
out of the question.
So-
As if
so,
it's like,
I'm not allowed an opinion anymore.
no, I'm saying though, as if he's like completely out of your mind about manager of the year. Like as if he's like,
I just
like,
said September to
shit.
December, I'd give it to him. I never said he's shit. Why are you making stuff up?
All right. Do you have any more? Or we could do it for 2023 as well.
Signing of the year. Signing of the year.
Oh, that.
Gabriel Jesus.
No, of the year. Calendar year.
Oh,
What? So it has to be from January.
I'd say
Not
Haaland.
necessarily.
I'd say Haaland, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even Casemiro is up there.
What?
Why are you laughing? The best defensive midfielder in the world.
I think Haaland, honestly. Unless there's a player. Say like a player that went to
Who else
Real.
said it? It's between it's Haaland then.
He also said Gabriel Jesus, don't he?
Or
Go
no,
on,
I
then.
can't remember. No, I
no,
can't
go on.
remember.
No. Come on, there.
I was trying to rack my brain, but no, Haaland's.
Is there any
Take-
player from Real Madrid that went to Real, maybe? Like a
Oh,
Camavinga
look,
to
Rail's like the be all and end all for you, isn't it, Amir?
Because they won the
Nah,
Champions League
no
and the
one
league.
excels like that.
Fair enough. And Premier League, I guess we give it to Haaland as well, don't we? Because
Yeah.
it's moment of the year. I guess another one.
Well, including World Cup football.
2022 to 2023.
Oh yeah,
The bit when Costa Rica and Japan were both going through and Germany and Spain were going
Yeah.
out. That was the best 5 minutes I've ever seen
Yeah.
in my life. I was
Yeah,
so
I agree with
happy.
that. That's quite
I was
fun. That's a
so
good
happy.
I,
I was bouncing up and down the room just because of the fact that Costa Rica were about to go through.
That's
I would
quite
say
good one.
Messi's assist against Croatia this year.
That was good. I'd say the whole World Cup, penalty shootout, everything.
Yeah,
Hopefully the
you
final
want to
in
be
general.
boring and say, the
Yeah,
whole
the
World
whole
Cup.
World
Yeah.
Cup. What a moment that was.
Okay, and then the Premier League
moment.
we got to think Prem now. Premier League, January to December. What would you say big moment for you? It doesn't have to be good, could be bad as well.
I
He's
can
already
tell
got
you, I can tell you the
negative one.
funniest moment it's for Watford. It's actually quite funny.
Oh, for God's sake.
Wow.
And Chelsea. It summed us up on the whole of this year. The fact we scored in the 88th minute against Chelsea on the last day of the season and still lost the game. It was terrible.
What
Just
was
summed
it?
us
What
up.
was it?
We lost 2-1. Ross Barkley scored the winner in injury time against us. That's the lowest of the lows.
Nah, I think that's a crap one. Moment of the year for you guys? I guess Liverpool.
Liverpool's
was it
downfall.
this year? Or Liverpool beating United like 6-1 or something, was it?
That wasn't.
Man City being 4-0 at half time.
That wasn't in 2022.
Was it not?
Arsenal beating Liverpool.
That's your moment of the year.
Yeah, we haven't done that for like 6 years.
Fair
That's
enough.
so random.
Okay, any more you guys have to add to the floor? Any more awards?
Oh, man, you go down to 9th now, mate. Chelsea are in ninth place.
Yeah, that's fine. Any other
That's
things
fine.
you don't want to
All
say?
right, should we do it for 2023? Who's the player of the year for you in the world? Who do you think's going to be player of the year
Wow.
Saka.
across the calendar?
And
Saka.
I reckon Mbappe based on
Dan, who do you
the
think?
merit.
Yeah, I'll probably go Mbappe. Or, actually, no, I'm going to sit with my guns. I'm going to go Haaland. Because you lot are going moan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, Shamiz, confront him about it.
Yeah,
Go
Dan,
on.
can you apologize now for saying Holland's better than Mbappe?
Haaland's come back and look what he's done.
Come back.
Straight away. He's come back and played league football and he's how many
But
goals?
wait. The big question
Mbappe
is
scored the
Haaland
most
still
goals
better
in the
than
calendar
Mbappe
year.
right now?
Right now, yeah.
No, he's
Haaland
not.
scored.
Mbappe scored a hat trick in the World Cup
So
final. No
what
one's
you're
done
saying,
that.
because we would say, all of us here agree, Mbappe is the best player in the world. You're saying
Oh,
Haaland is the best
100%.
player in the world.
What I'm saying is, if you put Haaland, he can't help the fact that he's Norwegian. Really,
Dan, why don't you just say it? Just say Haaland's the best
Just
player in the world.
say if
with
you
chest.
think it's better, man.
You know, I'm not saying he's the best player.
Well, then who's the best player in the world?
Messi.
Oh,
No, he's not.
There is.
Now,
Right.
Dan, not like generation. I mean,
no,
now.
I think Messi in the last 6 months does have merit, but over a calendar year.
Okay, so you're saying it's
Messi.
Messi, then Haaland, then Mbappe.
Might have to.
You might have to. I love it.
Makes
Might have
Okay,
to
any,
just to rat
any
me.
other predictions, guys? Next
Okay,
manager
player of
to
the year
be
was
sacked?
that. Who's the young player of the year for the
Oh,
2023?
potential. Good
Go
one.
Saka.
So you're saying
talking
Saka's going to be
Prem
the
or in
best?
general?
Oh, you're going to say Saka's the best player in the world.
Is Saka going to carry you to like every single
Yeah.
trophy you go in for?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the-
Jude.
no,
I'm going to say
no,
Jude.
Jude's a good
player
shout.
of the year, Martin Odegaard. Sorry. Just wanted
Young
to clear
player
that
of
up.
the year.
I
just wanted to clear that
back
up, sorry.
the Premier League player of the season. I could back that.
Who?
Oh God! If
Young-
Arsenal win the
If he
title,
carries it on, then sure, but not yet.
Yeah,
No, you said predict it. That's what I'm saying. It.
young player of
I
the
can't
year.
exactly
Young-
look into the future.
I really
Musiala.
like the Jude Bellingham shout. I think Jude Bellingham shout's really good. I back
Bayern
that.
Champions League, Musiala.
That's not a bad shout either.
He's brilliant.
Oh, quick question actually. Do you reckon Jude
I'm gonna go
or
for an English
Musiala are
sleeping
going to
European.
come through to the Premier League anytime this season?
Yeah, Jude to Liverpool at the end of it.
No, I think
Unless-
Jude wants to go Real. I heard Real.
I think Jude wants to go Arsenal.
Okay.
I've got one that's just out there. When next Prem manager to be sacked? Who do you not reckon? I know it's probably going to be more recent than
Potter.
over a year.
Graham Potter's probably the
Potter.
biggest. Because
No, I
there's a
think David
pathway to
Moyes.
sack. If he loses to Man City,
There is no
on
pathway
Thursday-
to
David Moyes. David Moyes.
David
It's got
Moyes.
David
David Moyes will be
David Moyes.
sacked.
No, but
Everyone
there
wants
is
him out as well.
Okay,
West
okay.
Ham.
No.
Don't let him in.
Hear me out. Amir,
Yeah.
Potter's just lost now, and he loses to City against Thursday. Very reasonable. He
His
loses
job
and
is
gets out of the
secure.
FA
His
Cup.
job is
Then
secure.
Fulham at Craven Cottage and Derby in London. You lose
Oh,
that,
really?
he's sacked.
Derby in London. Yeah. Really?
London derby. You're
He's
spot
trying to
on.
be sarcastic. He's trying to as if,
How
like,
much more do you need to
as if
lose?
his club's not
Short-term
getting
memory. By the way, we
beaten
did
up.
finish top of the Champions League group, beating AC Milan twice. Still in the Champions League.
Yo, you still sacked Tuchel and you're doing well in the
Why,
Champions League.
yeah?
It doesn't
Sack
matter.
him.
the
I
worst.
didn't want him to be sacked, did I? We'll keep going
No,
around in
yeah,
circles.
I'm not saying
every
you.
pod.
You're not
I
the owner.
mean,
I'm
you
saying
should have
what your club
interfered.
will
If I'm
do.
honest, you should have interfered.
I don't want you to interfere. Any other ones? Any other
Best manager
predictions?
of
Best manager of the
2023.
year.
Ten
Oh,
Hag,
good
comfortably.
question. Oh my god, definitely not. Definitely
It will
You're
not.
be.
right.
Everything's going the right way for him. He's
Right.
It's
incredible.
Arteta.
Oh.
Ah.
Prediction. Manager of the year. Mikel Arteta.
Arteta. Are you saying it?
Can he? He
Mikel
can't be
Arteta.
though.
Oh, hear
No,
that? Look.
because it's always the
Clip it,
winner of
clip
the
it.
Champions League, right? And he
It
can't
will-
win the
it-
Champions League.
So is it a Champions League? So if the best manager has to win Champions League, is that
Well, it always is.
What if?
That's
No.
true.
Right, I'm going to throw a wild card
Eddie
out there,
Howe's-
and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying what if? What if Arteta goes ahead and wins the league and the Europa League?
Yeah, that's what I think he won't do. I think he'll win the Prem. That's it. You don't have the squad to be winning anything else.
No, but I'm saying
So
that's what I'm saying. What
it'll
if?
be Arteta's
Yeah,
Premier
yeah.
League versus whoever's Champions League, and the person with the Champions League wins.
Well, no, but what if? What if he wins the Europa League?
Okay, then yeah, sure, but he won't win it. No, you have to like go step by step. You don't have the.
You don't
squad to be
understand.
winning
You don't
everything.
understand the amount of hope
No,
I
no.
have in this club
You
right
have the
now because
team.
of
You
how
have
well we're
you have
doing.
an 11. Yeah, you have an 11, but you don't have a squad to be winning all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have a squad.
No, but
It's
it's
a
still.
process.
I'm still happy to be 7 points clear right now.
They've done pretty well, to be fair, given other Arsenal praise. I didn't care. It's done all right in the last 2 games without Jesus, to be
we
fair.
predicted that though. We said the bench.
I
guys would be
didn't.
inspired.
But the issue is a DM. They need a Partey replacement because he's really key for them. I don't know who that El Neni.
He's doing
Joke,
all
man.
right at the moment, El Neni.
It
So
won't be him.
Doesn't play. That's why he's doing all right.
he came on.
Did he for what, 1 minute? Was that
Yeah, he
30
still
seconds?
still came on.
Second.
Still came
I
on.
don't think he touched the ball. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Obviously, Happy New Year. Dan didn't say at the beginning as well. 2023, hopefully for
This is our year.
a good year.
So guys,
Hopefully,
everyone
yeah.
watching, this is what's going to happen. All right, the lowdown. We're going to hit
Yeah.
1 million followers, and that's what's going to happen.
This is why you jinxing it.
No,
You're jinxing it. We're
I'm
in the
throwing it out
decline.
there. It's
You're
gone
jinxing
out
it.
into the universe now. That's it. It's there.
Okay, it's going to take a lot from everyone to do that, Elliot.
It is, but we've got the best
Damn.
fan base, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, hopefully we'll. More TikToks will be out this week as well. More new ideas. We're thinking of ideas, new game shows, etc. So tune in for that, and
Let us
have
know
a
if you have
good
any
year.
suggestions as well.
Exactly, definitely. Thanks,
Nice
thanks
one.
for listening.
Take care.